All right, no baby spit up. I think we're good. Sorry, it's like 1:30 in the morning when I'm shooting this, but heyo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new video on the channel. I've been thinking about shooting this video for the past 4, 5, or 6 months, but I think with everything that's gone down recently and hearing what happened to Jim Browning and how his channel might be getting deleted, I thought it was a good time for us to kind of have this conversation, not just as the scambaiters who produce content on YouTube, from keeping ourselves safe. And by the way, I'm gonna make this video probably as raw as possible with very little editing. And anyways, but also to protect our viewers, because I feel like they're the ones who are being targeted a lot more. With that being said, it's no secret that many YouTubers, many YouTube accounts get targeted to be taken over, demonetized, or even worse, deleted through no fault of their own. Now, some of you may or may not know that my channel was demonetized at the beginning of the year through no fault of my own, and so I know what that kind of feels like. And at the time that my channel was demonetized, I had roughly about 40 or so channel members, and these channel members were able to get early access to videos. They got their names were scrolling on the screen as like shout outs, and I also had the privilege to have one-on-ones with a few of them. And so it was very demoralizing, and I kind of felt like I was being attacked by YouTube as well. When that happened, I felt like I got punched in the stomach and the wind was taken out of me, all that kind of stuff. And so we know that on YouTube there are many fake accounts, spam accounts, and scam messages being left in the comment sections, in live streams, and so forth and so on. So this video is to kind of address that, and just kind of what we can do to protect ourselves, what we need to do in order to beware of what's going on as well. This video is not to talk about what happened to Jim Browning, the message that he got, and what he did, what he didn't do, and this is not to talk about that. I'm not here to talk for Jim or talk about Jim in that sense. I just wanted to bring it up just because it's kind of in the forefront right now for a lot of people. So I may be looking down as I'm looking at some of my notes. So some of you may or may not know that people within our own scambaiting community have been targeted. Myself, people have created fake accounts for Dr. Fell, IREX scammers, who else? Malcolm Merlin, even CoffeeZilla, who is a guy who goes after scammers constantly. His channel recently blew up, but even he's been targeted. And one of the bigger YouTubers, which is kind of what made me go like, hey, maybe I should start thinking about making this video. His name is Graham Stephan, and his channel received a message from YouTube saying that his channel was going to be deleted, even though he hadn't necessarily done anything wrong. I would suggest you go check out his videos where he talks about this as well. But within our own community, we've had people create imposter accounts. So I just want you to know, mine is going to stay as it is, as Deyo, and I have a shorts channel, Deyo Shorts. That's it. Nothing else will be talking or speaking on YouTube on my behalf. Now, that being said, what I wanted to let you guys know is how you can find out whether or not that is a real account or not. Now, there's various ways. I've seen this personally, actually, in live chats. I've seen people who speak to the fake Dr. Fell, for example, or the fake IREX scammers, and say hello to them through no fault of your own. But there's very subtle things that you could see with the name and so forth and so on. So I'm gonna make some suggestions today on how YouTube can fix this. And by also, this is by no means is this to dog on YouTube. YouTube has created a platform where I've been able to share videos about scams, how to educate people about scams, make people laugh. I've been able to, meet a lot of great people, be in live streams, chat with a lot of you, all that kind of stuff. It's been a great platform. It gives people unlimited, uploads. You could literally use this as like storage. It's like your own Google Drive or Google Cloud or whatever, right? It's a great platform. So I'm not here to dog on the platform. I just think there are ways that it can be made better, and I think that it starts with us. And I'll make some suggestions of what I think YouTube could do. Not that YouTube's gonna watch my video or anything like that, but just something I thought I'd throw out there. Now, one of the things that you could do, especially if you see something in a live stream where it's not the real Dr. Fell, and usually you'll have moderators in there who may be able to tell you. They'll probably time the person out. They'll probably hide the person from the channel. but you can also report them. You can also block them so that you don't necessarily see them. So that's something that you can do if you're in a live stream, that you can do. You can also go into your YouTube studio, you know, see if you can find the link to their channel, their channel ID or whatever, copy it, go into your YouTube studio, go into settings, and then hide the user from the channel or block the user, and so forth and so on. So that's something that you can do. You can also report the spam accounts because YouTube gives you that option, which is a great thing. If I'm looking down, like I said before, it's because I'm looking at my notes. I just don't want to go off on tangents like I'm kind of doing right now. Same with comments. If you ever see comments in one of our videos, if you're making comments and you see spam comments, type of comments being made on scambaiter channels, please feel free to report them from my channel. I can't speak for everyone else, but please, if you see spam comments, please feel free to report those. So what are spam comments? So YouTube kind of talks about spam comments being things that take people off the platform, that refer to like a YouTube, not a YouTube, sorry, like a WhatsApp phone number, you know, this Bitcoin thing, this, that, the other. Okay, those are kind of things that I've seen in our space that kind of get flagged as spam. So that's something that I think if you see those kinds of comments being left on people's channels, feel free to DM them if you have them on Twitter, or if you're a member of their Patreon, feel free to leave them a comment. Or maybe I'm speaking for myself. I'm speaking for myself. I'm not putting words into other scambaiters' mouths, but these are just some things that I think would be helpful for us as a community to be able to have and do, especially as viewers and as people who put out videos. So how to prevent your account from being flagged as spam is don't have weird characters for your screen name. As soon as you do that, it's a kind of a red flag. I've seen people try to leave comments on my channel, and they say, you know, my comment's not showing up, and that's partly the reason why is because YouTube's algorithm or system or whatever. YouTube has various systems in place, we know. You know, whenever you put songs or music in a video, they flag it down, they claim it, or they copyright strike, or whoever the claimant is. So they have a system in place to detect that kind of stuff. And so I don't want to talk about necessarily what happened to me, just because I don't want other scam baiting channels to be targeted. But let's just say it dealt with bots, Russia, and my most viewed video. All right. So don't leave the same comment on every channel as well. That's something that gets flagged by YouTube as like you're just leaving the same comment. Something that's not personalized. Try not to leave those types of comments. Those things get flagged. Again, don't try to link to another channel or another site. Usually they'll kind of filter through that as well. Now, YouTube gives us the opportunity to be able to block words or filter stuff as well. Now, I've had to go into my settings and put like a lot more filters on because I've been seeing a lot more comments coming through, like these ones where people are leaving comments talking about going to get their money from someone on WhatsApp or something like that. So I don't want my audience to be scammed. I don't want you guys to fall for anything. And I don't know that you would, but just as a precaution, I'm gonna put a little bit more filtering. Now the problem with doing that is legitimate comments may also get flagged. Now the good thing is through YouTube Studio I can go through and approve certain messages and certain comments, so that's something that I'll be doing. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up, but I think it's a way that we can protect you, and that's ultimately like what, in my opinion, what I want to do is protect my audience as much as possible, protect the viewers, protect people who are watching these videos, because I don't want them thinking like, oh wow, in the comment someone said, hey, I got my money back from this guy, I just have to follow and message them on WhatsApp. I don't even have WhatsApp. All right, so I'll never message you on WhatsApp. All my socials are right here, literally. All right, and I tell you what they are. So if you're getting something from me that's not this, it ain't me. All right. Now, in my opinion, one of the ways that I think YouTube could improve is, first of all, if you're a bigger channel, you get like, I don't want to say like a handler, but you get someone assigned to you that helps you kind of keep you on the straight and narrow, tells you how you can improve your channel, different things with analytics. You get different features as well, as anyone who has over 100,000 subscribers. Now, if you have over 100,000 subscribers, it's you are targeted a lot more than the smaller channels because of that reason, right? Because people look at that as like a bigger audience, more revenue, all that kind of stuff. So, but the smaller channels, there's really no really good protection for us. And that's kind of what I'm talking to right now. Is Jim Browning will be fine. Okay, Jim Browning is talking with people at YouTube, he'll be fine. I'm talking about us, the smaller guys who don't necessarily have that access to YouTube and to their again, their handler, whoever that person is, their assigned YouTube person that's assigned for a certain period of time. So one of the ways I think that YouTube could improve is, let's see, if you know how they have a copyright system in place whenever someone puts music or a song in their video, it gets flagged almost immediately. I know that happens to me. If there was a way that when we report those accounts, that the IP addresses of those accounts that are being reported by the creator could be blocked, that would be great. Now, could they get around that? Obviously they could, but it just allows us to also have more control in that sense, to make sure that that person specifically with that name, or even that name in general, gets flagged through YouTube's system. They have their systems in place. Now, their system may be already doing that, I don't know, but it may not be doing it as well as personally I think it could do it. Second thing, it's a lot harder for smaller channels because there's way more smaller channels than there are bigger channels to have a personalized approach. But it would be ideal if YouTube could talk to us on a personal basis. Like I know when I deal with Team YouTube, through email or even on Twitter, sometimes on Twitter it just feels like it's a pat response. When I was going through trying to figure out why I was being demonetized, it literally felt like I was talking to a bot myself, right? That's literally what it felt like. So if there was a way that there could be a little bit more of like a personalized touch by YouTube, that would be ideal. Like if they could have direct communication with the creator, I think that would be ideal. Yeah, get a human being on the phone, for crying out loud, right? I know you're a massive company, but have something that when you hit a certain maybe threshold, not 100,000 subscribers, because there's a lot of people that put a lot of effort into their YouTube channels when they're smaller creators, trying to get their channels off to a good start. And a lot of people feel like deflated when they start getting attacked and they're not being like considered, an important creator or whatnot. So I think those are important things that YouTube could do to make it a little bit better for us as creators to be able to share with our audiences, or protect our audiences anyway. Also, if we could actually get an idea of what the deletion process is. Now, I know that they may not, they couldn't tell me what exactly happened with my channel. All they could tell me is if they told me, it would circumvent their detection systems. So if you could have that, whatever that detection system for different things are in place that could help creators get rid of these spam comments, help our audience, protect our audience, ultimately I think that would be great. And like I said, with the deletion process, instead of deleting a channel right away, have a conversation with that creator. Was this you? Why was this not you? Have that conversation where it could go forward and so forth and so on. Yeah, so that's really all I wanted to talk about that. I want to just make sure that you as a viewer, are protected. That my chats, for example, I'll have to filter them a little bit more as well, just because I know I've had people come in and troll on my chats, and I'm not a big creator, right? I'm a small fry compared to a lot of the bigger channels, but the bigger channels always look after the bigger channels. You know what I mean? They're always supporting each other, and that's why it's important for us as smaller creators to support one another, to lock arms together. Lock arms and really be there for one another and help each other, because YouTube is not necessarily going to pay attention to us right away. It might take some squeaking, as they say, because the squeaky wheel gets the oil, or whatever the saying is. it might take some time, but at the end of the day, I think it's important for us to do. With that being said, guys, you know, yes, I've been meaning to make this video for that long of a period of time, because I've seen videos, like I've seen accounts, channels get taken over, and then scam videos being put on, like live streams. Like I've seen YouTube leave a video up for like 8 to 10 hours of a live stream of people conning people with like Bitcoin scams and crypto scams and all that kind of stuff. So I've been meaning to make this video for a long time. There's a lot of creators, guys, that are making you know, claims about, you know, pump and dump stuff and all that kind of stuff. Those are things that I eventually will cover. CoffeeZilla is a great YouTube channel, guys. I would really suggest you guys go watch that dude. He's on point, man. That guy, he's on point. Not everything to me that he talks about is a scam, but for the most part, he's on point. So I'd really strongly suggest you guys go check that out. And yeah, so I just want to make this video, guys, and hopefully you guys learn some stuff. Make sure you, again, to protect yourself, don't, you know, spam stuff in chats. And as YouTube creators and as scambaiters, I think we need to do a better job to make sure that our audiences are also not spamming in our live chats as well. Anyways, that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. That was it. Hope you all have a wonderful day. I'm gonna go to sleep now. It's now 2 a.m. Peace.